I've been doing it for about a year now, and I've gotten better at it. I like this quote. I got top 8 at student nest without eating that day. Don't be that guy who says that. No one thinks that's a flex. No one thinks that's cool, or that's not something to brag about. Okay. If anything, you should feel bad because if you got second place at nest with no food, you could have gotten first, or you could have just done something even better. Okay. Now let's talk about what you should approach tournaments with. So tournaments are the tests. Practice is the studying. So when you take a lot of us are in STEM majors in this class, you take a thermodynamics exam or a physics exam, you're not going to learn how to do complex differential equations on the test, okay? If you have no idea what you're looking at. In the same way, like if you play someone who's a character and a play style that you're not used to, you're not going to learn how to beat them within a best of 3 or a best of 5 set. So I don't think you should hold yourself to that. Just try to do what you can, try to implement different strategies, and then maybe kind of come up with things to look at later when you practice, okay? And as I said at the beginning, some losses are good and some wins are awful. There are plenty of times where I beat someone, but I know I played awful, and people come up to me and like, "Oh, why are you like upset?" I'm like, "Look, if I got lucky and won, I consider that as much of a loss as losing, right? And some losses are good. A lot of people love coming up to me and doing the face after I lose a really close set, because they feel bad for me or they think I'm sad. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, is when people assume I'm going to be sad after a loss. But if I lost playing my best, that's all you're able to do. Everyone say welcome, Dylan, Queen. When I was a teaching assistant, my favorite thing to do with people who were late was give them a round of applause. Also, I don't want Dylan to miss this slide. All right. So now let's talk about what you do after a tournament, right? Now I'm actually glad. I made too many Dylan jokes. I'm done with it. But anyway, sorry. Let's lock in here. So, how do you deal with losing? I talked about getting mad, and I think, as much as it makes people uncomfortable when people rage and hit controllers, I think it just makes you look like I hate to use this word in an unironic way, but a chud. You don't want to be that guy who's known for raging, because people don't respect you as much, and a lot of people who want to be good at this game kind of want the validation from other people. And I think even if you're look at the top players who rage. I'm not allowed to say this person's name on stream because I'll probably get flagged or something. But we all know someone who has not been a certain. If you guys know my co-main, who I haven't mentioned yet, don't say her name, but he plays this character and he's known for raging, and no one really likes him, even though he's really good at the game. So if you want to know who this player is, just come up to me after. And also, so the one thing I want to hammer home is think of someone who you lose to all the time and really, really hate losing to. Do you go into every next set with them with a different thing you're trying to do, or something you're trying to apply? If the answer is no, then you're going to keep losing to them. I don't know how to say it to you. Because also, one adjustment is probably not going to be enough. 2 adjustments is probably not going to be enough. Everybody in this room, including me, who competes, probably has that one player who they really, really want to beat and have been trying to for a while. And, it's hard when losing. Sorry, I'm reminiscing about my own player for that. I'm beating him on Sunday, though. I'm gonna get them to rig the tournament for me. All I'm saying is, if you hear me screaming at a tournament, it's because I beat that player. I will never scream for any other reason. Okay, so we're getting down to the wire here. Yes, there we go. All right. So I just threw a lot of things at you guys. I want to do a recap. I'm sorry to take it a little bit slow on this presentation, but I really ultimately want to recap with these 4 main points. Results are comprised of your actual skill and game sense. But warm-up and your ability to play your best is also half of the battle. A lot of people are really good at this game, but they don't have the ability to play their best. So they end up looking like 1-2ers, 2-2ers that are pretty damn good at the game in friendlies or something. Okay? Are you done?
Yeah, Thank you. It's not me.
Balancing Smash with a full and fruitful life is common. Don't let anyone tell you that your favorite players are chuds who don't have a game outside of Smash or a life outside of Smash and don't do other things with their lives. It's actually the majority of people that are good at this game have plenty of lives outside of it. So don't. Also, a lot of people who quit Smash and go on Twitter and be like, hey guys, I quit Smash and like I actually feel like I have a life now and I'm so happy. Don't listen to those people. They are the biggest losers I've ever met. They're even more losers than people who think that who get mad at top players for being good at the game and think they know life. Okay, and then now to actually get better at the game, the big point there was to break improvement down into the states of the game, like neutral, disadvantage, advantage, ledge trapping, that sort of stuff. I'd say I'd probably get a majority of the questions that people have will be on this topic. Just work on one week by week and just start small. Try to get better at one thing and then another thing and then another thing. It's not going to be like quick. You're not going to one day be like destroying everybody in like the matter of months, okay? It's going to take a long time. And this game has been out for a long time and people have been putting in this type of methodology way longer than you. I'm not saying that to deter you, but I'm just trying to be realistic here. Just try to get obsessed with your own improvement. That's the best point I can make about it, okay? Now, treat mentality as a skill, just like how neutral is a skill, or being able to zero to death people with Luigi is a skill. Having a good mental is also a skill, so you're not going to have a good mental just because I said this stuff. What are you laughing at so much? What's funny with this time? Please tell me.
Okay. Luigi's zero to death is a skill.
Yeah, it is a skill. I can do it with my eyes closed, by the way, in case anyone in chat didn't know. Professor K will vouch. All right. Shout out to Professor K. All right. Now, this is going to be my favorite part of the presentation. Turn the mic up again. Sure. I'm almost done the damn presentation, and you're telling me to turn it up now. Okay. These are talking points. I think this is a good way to get the conversation started after this presentation's over, because I feel like I lost a lot of people in some parts of the presentation. So let's talk about being good is not as amazing as it seems. I know it's very easy for me to say that, being as I am pretty good at the game, but I will say there are a lot of negatives to being good at the game. You ever heard of the phrase, it's lonely at the top? I've talked to some of you about this, over the past couple of weeks, is like, think of your favorite player. They're probably, every time they win a tournament, it's expected, so no one really like congratulates them, gives them support, or if you're playing like a really important match, maybe even against your own bracket demon, but no one really knows because they don't really follow top level Smash like that, or top of like the state. People are not going to be watching your matches. People are not going to be popping off after you get like top 8 at a tournament that you worked really hard for. And then people are going to celebrate your losses. Absolutely. Like you are going to get heckled. You are going to get rooted against. I'm not saying that to be like, don't want to get good. But what I'm saying is there are cons to being bad at Smash, and there's also cons to being good at Smash. So do it for the love of the game. And that segues into the next one is, I did this entire presentation on the assumption that you guys want to get really good at this game. But it's not for everybody. No one wants to. Maybe some people don't want to VOD review. Some people don't want to practice combos, and that's totally, totally fine. But you can't have it both ways, where you're not putting in the work, and then you're complaining that you're not getting better. That's all I'm trying to say with this. Is like, if you want to get better, do what it takes. If you don't want to get better, go do your 2-2, enter redemption, and have fun. But don't make it awkward for everybody else being like, oh, I can't beat this person, I can't beat that person. You're not putting in the work. So what makes you think you deserve the results that everyone else putting in work gets? Okay? And also, just in the same way that like I treated everything as a skill, applying everything I talked about in this presentation is also going to be very overwhelming. Start with one thing from this presentation. I'll be sending the slides out if you want to take a look at it again. There's also going to be a recording on stream. This will take years, as much as, even for me, like the stuff I just talked to you about in this presentation, I'm still doing stuff week by week. Like I'm still focusing on one subtopic that I've already focused on like 3 years ago, and I'm trying to get better at it. Sometimes you get rusty, sometimes you take a break from the game, and then you have to come back and kind of do a refresher. This is all like a marathon. You're not gonna just sprint, do like a, it's kind of like how you're not gonna, we all know those fitness ads, like get abs in 2 weeks, get abs in four weeks. But anyone who actually has abs will tell you it takes years and a lifetime of like actually working towards it and also keeping it. It's one thing to also get good at Smash, have one good result, one good win. I know people, and I'm sure my friends in this, you are all my friends, but you know what I'm trying to say. My old friends in this room are probably gonna know I'm talking about one person in particular, is got 2 good wins at like 2 regionals and like elongated the shit out of that for three years, losing to a bunch of O2ers, and still thinks they're really good at the game for some reason. So don't be that guy who gets one good win, gets lucky one time, and thinks they're hot shit, okay? There are people who like are as good or way better than anyone thinks they are, but don't make a big deal out of it. Be that person, okay? And then, I like this talk. This is the second to last talking point on this slide. Deep conversations. If any one of you, the people who frequent the Northeastern Discord see people talking about, like I was talking about earlier, making jokes about it, like stage bans against characters, what matchups to go, what secondaries, or just like random like what are like stats, like not to single people out. But all I'm saying is be weary of that mentality being a way to put off tedious, real practice, okay? So I would much rather think about, like, next time you want to talk about what character to go into a matchup or what stage to go, think about, like, asking someone you trust who is good at the game, hey, how do I let's trap better? How do I land against this character? How do I keep someone in the corner? What's the importance of being in the center stage? You know, stuff like that. And then ultimately, this is a really good point to end on. Have gratitude that you get to play this game. We all love this game. I know a lot of people like to shit on this game and think they are above it, but as someone who has always loved this game, especially during COVID, like everyone hated it because it was online only, and I'm not saying the Wi-Fi is good, but I love this game, and it's given me a lot of my social life. It's given me a lot of my best moments, and also a lot of my Wally sandwich money. So I kind of have to have gratitude for that. You kind of have to value that you have this community, you have the ability to do this. You know, you got people coming in here every week to put on these tournaments for you. So next time you feel like getting upset at this game, think about how lucky you are to have someone good enough to match your level of time you've put into this game and actually challenge you. Because look at, I can actually name this person. Look at Mars, right? He doesn't go to tournaments because no one really holds a candle to him in this region. Maybe that doesn't apply as much nowadays because someone was really good at 1-up and took a couple games off him and he had to reverse 3-stock. But yeah, so just have gratitude, man. Like we're lucky to have this, genuinely. Like you are lucky to be here, to get to compete in your favorite game, play the characters you like, and go get like Tasty Burger after. This is a very lucky thing, and especially like a lot of you might not have been in the community during COVID, but once that all gets taken away from you, you'll learn to appreciate that when you lose to some BS cheesing, you'll be like, I'm just happy to be here, okay? You can be happy to be here and still want to get better. I think you can have it both ways. That's all I got. The goal is to, sorry, thank you. Yeah, my goal with this presentation was not only to kind of give the community at Northeastern a gift that, you know, spread some knowledge, get everyone excited, inspired to get better at the game, but it was to just kind of expose a different approach that a lot of you might not have heard of. I think the culture at Northeastern is great, but I think there's definitely ways in terms of improvement that they can improve. If you felt like I kind of dug into a lot of people, like people here who feel called out by the presentation, I'm sorry. Like genuinely, I don't do it to kind of make a laughing stock out of you, but I definitely care and want to see you improve and, you know, accomplish your goals, because I know a lot of us do want to get better at this game and get the results and you know, stuff like that. So don't be a stranger. If you have any questions on anything I talked about, if you want to learn more about me, what I've accomplished, anything, just please come up to me. I know I don't come to Northeastern events a lot, but I'm always here for the student-only ones. I'll be there on Sunday. I'll be there for some of tomorrow. Yeah, please come up to me and just start a conversation. I know on Discord I'm kind of like memeing all the time and saying a bunch of BS. Sorry about that. It's how I pass time when I'm bored at work. So that's just my favorite pastime, and it's kind of also how I show love. I can't lie. So I feel like if I make fun of people more, I usually do it after I get to know them. I don't just do it to strangers unless I find it funny and I don't like them. Stream, don't clip that. But yeah, thanks guys. This is all I got. Any last questions before we start doing crew battles? Yeah. What was your name? I'm sorry. Edgar? I'm deaf in one ear. That's my. Sorry, Patrick. No, I heard. Yeah.